mechanics, some mechanics are homeless, or some mechanics are going through hard times, but they have a good trade, you know. So whatever, like you want to use the shower there, it's like okay, well I mean like mechanics should shower after they do that. Like my granddaddy was a mechanic for what, like 40, 40 years or something like that. I mean, he would come home with the first thing in the shower. His truck would probably have a lot of his filth inside of it, but if it was a truck, whatever. Like they just kept on mechanics wanted to shower while he was there. It's like, yeah, why would that be an issue? Apparently they fired him over it. Like every day he would come in, do his mechanic work, and then he would shower and go home. To me, that sounds like a very reasonable, very civilized, and very cultured way to go about it. Even if the shower happened to drove one home, it sounds like a very reasonable way to go about the day. If you're a mechanic, shower before you get into your car and get all of the filth in your car. I don't know, like I know a lot of people don't like care. I'm like, whatever, some people do care, and it's perfectly reasonable for people who do care to do that. So like, yeah, my thing is like, yeah, that's the fact that he got fired over this is crazy. Now, if they firing him stated as something like, yeah, you're not getting work done fast enough, or you don't have enough know-how in these new tools, that would make sense. The fact that they decided the reason for firing him, for that one guy, was because he was showering, heaven forbid, like, it almost seems like comically funny. It's like, oh yeah, like I guess these mechanics just don't like to shower. They want to just stick with their grime and filth. Like that sounds like insanity. He would come home and that is a very and like yeah, if some people if they don't want to get the filth and they're working on all day inside the car every day, and adding up to the filth inside the car, reasonable for them to want to like rinse off, whether or not they bring an extra pair of clothes, whatever, at least get the filth off the fingers, whatever else, like the face, perfectly reasonable response, especially if you're dealing with harsh chemicals that could be dangerous for you anyway. You might want to wash that off right before you end your shift. Like that's reasonable, dude. Yeah, he apparently got fired for that. That's crazy to me. It's like, like was he doing his job? If the answer is yes, and they said like he could use it, unless he was in there for like 5 hours or something. Like if he was just taking, if he was just taking anywhere from like a 10-minute to a, even if it was like an hour, if he was the only one using it, and they all used to use it at one point in time, or more people did. That's very reasonable. Very reasonable. I'd like to learn more about that case. I want to know what mechanic. I don't think he would. I think he's respecting him enough not to say what company it was, but I kind of want to say because I would permanently I would personally permanently say yeah, nobody go there because that's messed up. If they had a good reason and I found out information that I'm not privy to right now, I might change my mind on that. But I would not be surprised if that were the reason they fired him. Because sometimes, some of these people they get like that sometimes. Some of these like there are some bosses. Most of your bosses I think will be pretty decent people, but you'll get a boss here or there. And it's like, oh, that person's going through some struggles in life. And he's trying to get a job and pull himself up by his bootstraps. Can't have that. Fire him. There are people out there like that, believe it or not. And more than I'd like to believe, but they exist. There are a lot of people in small positions of, not even like super amounts of power, just like small positions of mild amounts of power, and they're like, yeah, keep the poor poor. And it's like, the man, he had a home. His home, apparently the water wasn't working, and he wanted to clean off the filth of his workday before he got home. And he was working at the mechanic shop, presumably a new hire, which means he was willing to work for his money and get that fixed eventually. And they said he could use the shower, and they fired him. Yeah, I would 100%. Now, not in most cases. In that situation, I would definitely go for unemployment, because that man deserves that. That's ridiculous. was just remembering that video. That was insane. Who does that? If I were the boss at like a franchise, or if I owned a small business and I knew somebody that was homeless or they didn't have running water or whatever, I'd absolutely be willing to help them out because they're already trying to help themselves out and work in, unless they were doing like an awful job at just what they're like, they weren't like fulfilling any of the expectations of a worker. That then I would probably. But then my reason for firing them wouldn't be for using resources that the business already established were available to anybody. It would be for not doing your job. And that would be different. That would be a legitimate reason to fire somebody. I remember that story. I saw that. I saw that guy talking about it online. And it's like, yeah, that's insanity. Oh, what do your messages say? Let me see. How you doing, Miguel? Victor Velasquez. What's NFL? Talk about football? Or does that stand for something else in other circles? I don't know. I'm guessing you're talking about football. I'll have to take a look. I haven't even like the games that happened a while ago. I haven't even checked all the scores on that yet, or even seen the highlights for the most part. I'm not really caught up in football. Mr. Man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. Anybody gonna fire anybody? Have a decent reason for it, for heaven's sake. Don't hold down people who are just trying to make it money and trying to better themselves and those around them. Those are not the people. If you're gonna, if you're like, I'm not saying you should really pull anybody down, but if anybody needs to be pulled down, probably the people like other people who are trying to pull other people down, if anything. But I don't even think you should really do it to them because you lead by example. But if anybody needs to be pulled down, you know, who's the first person that would come to mind? It would be the people trying to pull other people down. But then you would be a hypocrite if you did that, right? So, make sure. Good. Oh, I'll tell you about the black ones. The blue one does look kind of tacky. A new winder. It's kind of tacky, but at least it doesn't blend too much into the simplified black one. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to me so that we can talk again and helps me out too, obviously.